It started with a laptop, a few lines of code, and a vision to change the world. But within just a few years, it became the foundation of a global empire, one that would create the world's first AI billionaires. These aren't your typical tech founders. They didn't invent the internet, build social media platforms, or sell smartphones. They built intelligence itself. This is the untold story of how a small group of innovators turned artificial intelligence into one of the most powerful and profitable empires in human history. And what they're planning next could redefine what it means to be human. When we talk about empires, we think of Rome, Britain, or America. Civilizations built on armies, territory, and trade. But in the 21st century, a new kind of empire has emerged, one built not on land, but on data. An empire that doesn't need borders, governments, or citizens, just servers, algorithms, and access to human information. This is the AI empire. And at its center are the first billionaires whose fortunes were made. Not by creating machines, but by teaching those machines to think. The world knows their names: Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Jensen Huang, Tamiz Hassabis. But few understand how they actually did it. This isn't just a story about money. It's a story about how AI became the most valuable resource on Earth, and how the people who built it quietly became the new emperors of intelligence. 1. The birth of a new power. It all began in 2015, when a small group of Silicon Valley entrepreneurs gathered with one shared goal: to create artificial intelligence that could benefit all of humanity. That group became OpenAI. At the time, AI was still considered experimental, something locked in academic labs and science fiction stories. But OpenAI's founders saw the future. They realized that the first company to achieve general intelligence, an AI that could learn and reason like a human, would control the next industrial revolution. And so they set out to build it. In just a few years, they developed GPT, a language model that could generate human-like text, solve problems, and understand context. By the time GPT-3 launched, it had changed everything, ushering in the new age of AI economics. And with GPT-4 and GPT-5, that innovation turned into an empire. 2. The money behind the mission. While OpenAI's early story sounds idealistic, it was backed by billions of dollars in investment. Elon Musk was one of the original funders. Microsoft stepped in with a staggering $10 billion partnership, and venture capital firms poured in money faster than ever before. The goal wasn't just to build AI, it was to own the infrastructure of intelligence. OpenAI became a hybrid, a research lab on the surface, but a for-profit powerhouse underneath. Its API model allowed other companies to pay for access to its technology, creating a loop of data for profit. Every time you used ChatGPT or an AI tool built on its engine, OpenAI's empire grew richer and smarter. The more it learned, the more valuable it became. It wasn't just a company, it was a self-evolving business model. 3. The empire expands. But OpenAI was only the beginning. The success of ChatGPT inspired an explosion of AI startups: Anthropic, Cohere, Inflection, and dozens more, many founded by former OpenAI engineers. Each one promised a new vision of intelligence: safer, faster, more human. But they all shared one thing in common: they were funded and controlled by the same elite investors. Behind the scenes, Silicon Valley's wealthiest figures, Sam Altman, Reid Hoffman, Peter Thiel, and others, were quietly building an interconnected web of AI companies. These weren't competitors, they were branches of the same empire. They invested in chips, data centers, robotics, and digital infrastructure, ensuring that every layer of the AI revolution ran through them. From the software that writes code, to the hardware that trains models, to the cloud networks that distribute them worldwide, the empire had spread, not through war or conquest, but through code. 4. The man who saw the future, Jensen Huang. No story about the AI billionaire empire would be complete without Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA. While OpenAI built the brains of the system, NVIDIA built the body, the GPUs that make artificial intelligence possible. When the AI boom exploded, demand for NVIDIA's processors went through the roof. Every startup, every research lab, every data center, they all needed NVIDIA chips to run their models. Overnight, NVIDIA became the backbone of the AI revolution. In 2023, Huang's company crossed the $3 trillion market cap, making it one of the most valuable corporations in history. And the irony? NVIDIA doesn't even build AI models. It sells the tools, the shovels, that everyone else needs to dig for digital gold. It's the same strategy that made the richest people in history own the infrastructure, not the outcome. Jensen Huang didn't just become an AI billionaire. He became the architect of the empire's foundation. 5. The AI wealth loop begins. As AI products became mainstream, from ChatGPT to Copilot to image generators, a new system emerged, a loop of self-sustaining wealth. Here's how it works. AI companies make money from subscriptions and licensing. They use that profit to buy more data and computing power. That data and compute make their AI smarter. Smarter AI leads to more users and more revenue. It's a feedback loop of intelligence and wealth, one that compounds faster than anything in history. And those who sit at the center of this loop, Altman, Huang, Musk, and a few others, have positioned themselves as the gatekeepers of the digital future. Every improvement in AI increases their power. Every competitor that joins the ecosystem only strengthens their influence, because no matter who wins, they all own a piece of the machine. 6. The empire goes global. Soon the empire expanded beyond Silicon Valley. Billionaires in Saudi Arabia, China, and the UAE began pouring money into AI ventures, not for profit, but for control. In Saudi Arabia, massive funds are building AI cities, where automation runs everything from healthcare to logistics. In China, government-backed AI projects are merging with surveillance systems to create a new kind of digital governance. And in the US, private AI labs are merging with defense contracts to build autonomous systems for warfare. The empire wasn't just about wealth anymore, it was about power. Whoever controls AI controls economies, politics, and even global narratives. This is the first time in history that an empire is being built not on geography, but on intelligence itself. 7. The hidden currency, data. What makes this empire unstoppable isn't money, it's data. Data is the oil that fuels AI, and every message you send, photo you upload, or purchase you adds another drop to the reservoir. The AI billionaires realized early on that whoever owns the most data will eventually own the most intelligence. That's why the empire's companies collect, refine, and protect it like gold. Every app, every platform, every service. It's not just offering convenience, it's feeding the machine, and that machine feeds the empire. This isn't exploitation in the traditional sense, it's something deeper. We've become the workers of the digital age, mining data instead of minerals, training AIs instead of assembling products. And the billionaires? They own the factory. 8. The next phase, digital monarchs. As AI gets smarter, a new kind of leader is emerging, the digital monarch. These aren't kings or presidents, they're tech founders who control networks of intelligence that influence billions of people every day. Sam Altman, for example, now leads not just OpenAI, but a coalition of companies shaping AI governance, identity systems, and economic structures. His vision for WorldCoin, a global digital ID powered by AI, is a sign of what's coming next. Imagine an empire where identity, economy, and intelligence are all controlled by a handful of interconnected systems, and a few people at the top decide how they evolve. That's not the future. That's happening right now. 9. The untold side of the story. What most people don't see is that this empire wasn't built overnight. It was planned, strategically, methodically, and quietly. While the public marveled at AI art and chatbots, the real power moved behind the scenes into private deals, closed-door summits, and billion-dollar partnerships. The empire's foundation isn't just algorithms, it's influence. AI shapes what we see online, what we believe, and how we make decisions. That means those who control AI don't just control wealth, they control reality itself. And the first AI billionaires are the ones who realize this before anyone else. Every era has its empire, and every empire has its rulers. The Romans conquered land. The British conquered trade, but the AI billionaires, they've conquered intelligence. They built a system that learns from every human on Earth and profits from every click, word, and choice we make. This isn't just a story about success, it's a warning that the most powerful empire in history might not have soldiers or borders, just code. And as AI continues to evolve, one question remains. Will the empire serve humanity, or will humanity end up serving the empire? Because the first AI billionaire empire isn't just changing technology, it's changing the world order itself.